Hello, I'm Aaliyah, and this is Ricardo. And today I will be giving you all a synopsis, details without spoilers, thoughts, and differences on the book Flight from the Dark by Joe Dever. And I will be, deferring this one from the series The Chronicles of Narnia by C.S. Lewis, and preferably The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe out of this one, out of the whole series between that. And so, yeah. The Flight from the Dark is essentially a book or a gaming sheet about us, the readers, being Kais, and we have to honor the Kai Lords by going to go warn the king that the Dark Lords are coming. And essentially, we in this book have five powers, and with those, they ultimately help us get victory, or they ultimately, go down to our fate. And we also have a backpack which helps us carry, like, food, weapons, and things along the way with our journey. We also do have endurance points, and if you lose some, you can earn these back along the way. But if you lose all of them, then you have to restart over, and your journey, from the first round is over. And the good thing about this book is you can reread this as many times as you like, and you can get a different ending each time, and that's what makes this book so good. So, getting into the details of the book, without any spoilers. This is more like a fantasy book, sci-fi esque in a sense. And with this book, you are in control of your own fate and your own destiny. And with the skills that picked and choose from the beginning, it ultimately helps you out. And that's just like, good, because there's not a lot of stories, or it's very rare to find a good book where you are in control of your own destiny. And I think that's how the book is so cool, because it's very interactive with the readers, and we're not just reading a book and trying to take notes and everything. We're actually gaming along with it. This book does come with a character sheet and a number pad, and that's essentially really cool because we are interacting with the book, and we're having fun while reading and taking away something from the story at the same time. Now, my personal thoughts on the book. At first, I was not a fan, and I was very, hesitant to read it because it's something, or it's a genre that, I'm not into, because I don't game as much and I'm not really into fantasy like things. So it was, something different. However, after reading the book, I was personally, a fan, and it kind of caught me off guard to how much that I, liked and appreciated the book, because, you could tell a lot of effort was put into it, not only for the pleasure of, him having the readers enjoy his book and him as well, but for us, because in the end, we are responsible for our own fate, our own ending, our own story. And I think that that was really cool. I also like the fact that this is available online, not paperback, because I feel like if it was paperback, it would have been a bit difficult for me to submerge myself into, because I can, flip back and forth between the tabs and keep track of my gaming, and also keep track of, the book and where I'm at. It also does come with a map, and the map is really helpful and useful as well. And so I think that that's really cool. It might not be for someone who does not have a computer or, something to read off of, but at the same time, for me personally, I enjoyed it being online, very easy to access, and I didn't have to pay for it. So, yeah. And as I was reading the book, I caught myself liking it, and I also did, a bit of research about people reviewing the book, and also, liking it. And it's really popular among gamers and people who like sci-fi like things, and into just, different, unique things from what other people are. And there are, from what I can remember, there are like 20 series out of like the whole collection. So I think that I will be getting more into those and trying to read and figure those out during my free time. And differences between this book and the Chronicles of Narnia. Now, I personally am a huge fan of the Chronicles of Narnia series, preferably The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, because it's just something different, and I also got really submerged into it. There are four children. and they get sent to this country house to be safe away from the war. And the youngest finds a wardrobe, and she goes into this whole world named Narnia. And they are in a time of need because there's this evil witch who is like, planning to like destroy things and end it. But her and her siblings come back, and like they get victory and they win, and they ultimately become like, kings, queens, prince, and princesses. And it just makes a really great story, and it's something that made me, appreciate stories like that, because you can, in a sense, imagine yourself in that position, like, and everything. So they get like their powers, what makes them, what makes them unique. And that was something that I was, a really big fan of, and I enjoyed that. And it's the same in this book, but it's different because while theirs was kind of, handed to them, we get to choose our powers, and our fate, and ultimately decide what we want to do. But theirs was, chosen for them. But in the end, it was still something that was quite enjoyable, because we, the readers or the watchers and viewers, we were very pleased with the ending that we got. And I think personally that they have their own two categories, even though they're fantasy, sci-fi and stuff. But each of them would hold to their standards, because even though in Narnia, our roles, or the roles for the readers and stuff, were chosen, for them, we still as readers got to read it and enjoy it, and then see everything, come down into one, and then see the victory point. And with the Flight from the Dark, we have more than one shot to read and get different endings, whether that be, failure or victory. So I thought that in a sense was pretty cool. And, all in all, it was quite an odd book at first to read. I enjoyed it, and I think that you shouldn't really judge a book by its cover, in a sense, because even if it doesn't seem fun for the moment, you might actually like it just like me, and you might actually want to, read more series and get into it. So I think that's what I'm going to continue to do, during my free time. And I'm very thankful for the opportunity to, to get to like read and game with this book, and I'm very into it now. So thank you, Mr. Withers, and this concludes my book review. Hope you all enjoy.